Don't worry, the hunter is here. Just watch. You'll see what hunting is all about.
Hi there guys, it's Aaron here from Mirror Gaming, still coming at you from the Gamescom 2024 show floor, where I just got done playing Monster Hunter Wilds. So this is obviously the next mainline installment in Capcom's highly successful and loved monster slaying series, but this one is a little bit different because we're taking elements from Monster Hunter Worlds and Monster Hunter Rise, sort of fusing them together while still providing, you know, a couple of new features to make the series even more accessible than ever. So first things first, I got about an hour on with the game. The first 30 minutes with a single player mission, very much the intro tutorial sequence. We're riding through the desert with friends. I'm the hunter. I went for the dual blades. It was a grand old time. Riding around on my sacred, absolutely loved it. And then the second mission was very much focused on taking down a beast with a party of other friends. I wasn't able to play with other players because there were some network issues inside the demo booth, but I was able to cast up an SOS flare, call on those NPCs, and we were taking down this big giant mammoth thing together. So overall, as someone who played Monster Hunter World but spent the majority of my time with Monster Hunter Rise, which I really enjoyed, I'm already all in on Monster Hunter Wilds, bar one notable exception, which I'll talk a little bit about later. For the most part, we're slashing at monsters, we're riding on the back of our new sacred creature, which makes a lot of sense for this desert environment that we're in, and it's really cool what you're able to do on it as well, because just as much as you use it to get around and navigate, you know, this really vast location and region that Capcom have created, you're also able to ride it whilst using power-ups, taking medication, firing ammunition at enemies. And it's much more efficient to use your sacred, because whereas when you're trying to sharpen your blade, you're using your whetstone, or take down some medicine using your pouch when on foot, it keeps you completely still and open for attack. Now you can hop onto your sacred, summon him, ride around and do those things while still being able to navigate your way around the beasts. And also, if you find yourself being pursued by one of these giant creatures, the beginning of the demo, the sort of tail end of the cinematic in the tutorial sequence had me firing my slinger right behind me on the back of the sacred. It felt incredibly cinematic for Monster Hunter. Obviously not a series especially known for its narrative or memorable characters, but even just from that perspective and angle alone, I think Monster Hunter Wilds is set to surprise some people. It's going to be a real big step up in terms of memorable characters, incredibly cinematic cinematics, in addition to the ones that you create in-game in the moment whilst battling these beasts. So, on to the other main bulk of my demo, which was against, like I said, it's a big creature beginning with D, cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he was big, furry, looked like a giant bear, and the first thing I had to do was throw a large pile of dung at the herd of them to separate them from the pack. I was going for the alpha. I used a character with dual blades, so kind of fast, nimble, but also keeping me light on my feet, and really enjoyed it. This wasn't a set of weapons that allowed me to climb the monster, unfortunately, but taking it down looked incredible, especially with the weather effects being stepped up to the degree that they are. Obviously, it's a desert setting for the most part, but in that time we go from day to night, for stormy to clear, and all of those, maybe it was just a case of my demo, I'm not sure how quickly we're going to see these cycles in the final game, but at least in my demo it all flowed really naturally. It was really cinematic. If Capcom haven't got a photo mode planned for Monster Hunter Wilds at launch, they really should be. The other main addition that Monster Hunter Wilds makes to the formula, in addition to a rideable mount as well as some other things, is what's called focus mode. Focus mode, essentially, you hold down the L2 button. I was playing on PS5, and it essentially works as a kind of, not exactly a lock-on, because you can still lock on with R3, but it'll bring up a reticle on your screen, allow you to turn your character with ease, letting you stab away, slice away, hack away at a specific spot on the monster, which if you battle enough, if you focus on enough, hence the name of the feature, will create a wound that will then flash red on the creature, making it easier for you to take them down. So like I said, my portion in this demo was about 30 minutes, and I said to the guy behind me, the Capcom representative, I doubt I'm going to take this monster down within 30 minutes. Has anybody done it yet? He said, yeah, they have. And surprisingly enough, I think my time clocked in at about 23 minutes, and in that time I was climbing on my sacred, healing, ironing my whetstone, summoning NPCs to help me, jumping off of the creature, stabbing him, and also with focus mode you gain access to a new attack, which when unleashed really does some devastating damage. Then, if that's what L2 does, R2 is what's called demon mode, which essentially casts your character temporarily in this kind of like red outline, upping the damage of your attacks and letting you just go to the slaughter. So yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds. The one drawback that I hinted at earlier, as I mentioned, I was playing on PS5, and guys, I hate to break it to you, it was running at 30 FPS on PlayStation 5. Again, I don't know if this is final build. I don't know if what we're seeing is the, close to the finished version of the game that everyone will get to play when it releases. But I never used to be a frame rate snob, but I think there's an expectation built in with this current generation of consoles that you have to be targeting 60 FPS, especially when the action is meant to play out as frenetically and smoothly as this. So very disappointing to see. Up until now, I'm planning on playing it on PC because 60 FPS, I want to have that smooth experience, especially when you're playing with friends, you're all jumping in, because right now, it looks uglier than it needs to be. Not in terms of how the world looks or any of the lighting, but just how it plays out on screen when obviously the main action is moving. Not ideal. Capcom, please grant us 60 FPS mode, at least as an option, by the time that Monster Hunter Wilds launches. So anyway guys, that just about does it for my hands-on preview thoughts of Monster Hunter Wilds here at Gamescom 2024. Do you agree with my concern? Do you agree with everything that I enjoyed? What more are you hoping to see from this new mainline installment? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Then when you've done that, be sure to leave this video a like and consider subscribing to enjoy even more videos like this, including Gamescom coverage. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.